Okay, well, hello everybody, and thank you so much for coming this evening. I'm the Jane sister. This is Amy. I'll be talking tonight about the art of creativity for entrepreneurs. As before Madrid, as Arash said, I was the director and founder of it's a vintage clothing shop on one hand, and on the other hand, an event space. Before the shop, I did a degree in literature, followed by a master's in literature, so I'll be drawing on all of those experiences to do my talk this evening.
And I'm the Amy sister. I like that. I quite like that. My first degree was in English. My second is in international business. I've spent about 15 years of my career doing various different corporate things. So we think we're a kind of good combination between arts and business. And that's one of the reasons that we decided to do Commencer together. Commencer, when we launch in only 6 weeks' time, is an organisation which is basically based on the thought that everybody, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, probably face some of the same challenges in life around relationships and communication and creativity and how to fulfill your potential. So the idea is that we provide a space to work through some of those issues because you don't really get to talk about those things in normal education.
That's right. So the way we'll be doing that is to arrange talks and classes, different kinds of events in order to explore what Amy just said. We'll also be organising that underneath 5 main themes, which we think address most of human experience, although obviously that's kind of vast, and also the difficult questions that we all share and that we all have to face in life. Those 5 themes are potential, communication, happiness, relationships, and art.
And just to expand on those a bit, because they are pretty broad, by potential we mean, we believe that achieving your potential can mean a lot of things, but in order to understand how you do that, you need to first understand what you value and what you enjoy. So our classes will address things like how to find meaningful work, stuff that's meaningful for you as an individual, and how to achieve your life goals through slightly indirect or unconventional means.
And the second theme, communication, is, well, Amy will be talking about that later, actually, but, it's kind of obvious. It's one of the most fundamental things to us all as human beings. We are social animals. And a lack of meaningful communication in our lives can lead to all kinds of ills, such as, the obvious one being loneliness, or just simply feeling out of place, uncomfortable. So our classes under this theme will deal with how to have a good conversation, how to have a difficult conversation, because these things are very important in work or at home in kind of any situation, really.
And then happiness, which is probably the broadest. We actually think that seeking happiness is a bit of a modern disease, and actually by setting yourself up for a goal of being happy, sometimes you're kind of setting yourself up for the opposite because it's just not real human experience to be happy all of the time. So our classes on happiness will deal with things like how to be in the moment and how to enjoy the process as you go through life.
And relationships, like happiness, can be somewhat of a loaded term, as it immediately makes you think of, boyfriends, girlfriends, parents, very prescribed kind of relationships. But what we mean at Commencer by relationships are, it's in its broadest sense, so your relatedness to the world, that's it really. But what the classes will deal with how to have the best relationships we can with everybody that you encounter in your life, but most importantly, I think the relationship with yourself as well.
And then finally, art. So art and culture, I think in an increasingly secular society, sometimes fills the hole that used to be filled by the church and much more bonded communities than we typically see in kind of developed economies nowadays. So we think that art and culture can provide meaningful guidance to your life. So our classes on that theme will be things like art as therapy, bibliotherapy, film as therapy.
So I can't remember if this has already been said, but this is our first event, so you're like our guinea pigs, so thank you. But we'll launch officially on the 19th of October.
You have a little timetable of our classes on your chairs if you'd like to come.
You can tell she's the saleswoman here. So we'll be starting on the 19th of October at a space called Collage here in La Latina, which is a bar and also an art space. We'll be starting with 3 classes, which will go on to increase as time goes on. They will be initially in Spanish, but we're also developing some English content as well. And those three are el arte de la comunicación, el arte de las relaciones, y el arte como la terapia.
And just a little bit about our faculty. So Jane and I ordinarily won't be giving classes in Spanish, but we're really privileged to have a fantastic faculty around us. Oscar over here is a Doctor of Philosophy, and we'll be giving our very first class, the El Arte de Comunicación, the star of the show. Carolina, who you'll hear from later, is a psychotherapist and will be doing the art of relationships. Gilda, who can't be here tonight, is a Doctor of Literature and will be doing art as therapy, focusing on the book as the art form in that case. And Andrea, also here, will be joining her in developing that class and also looking at doing a class for our second term, which will keep as a surprise because we're still working on it.
Okay, so today what we'll be doing is three short talks on three of our themes. So like I said earlier, I'll be doing the art of creativity for entrepreneurs. Amy will be talking about the art of communication for entrepreneurs, and Carolina will be talking about the art of relationships for entrepreneurs. And after that, if there's time, we'll do a short exercise just to finish off. So that's that, and I'm going to leave you with Amy. She's going to talk about the art of communication for entrepreneurs.
Thank you.